And welcome back to another episode of Underdog Podcast. So, just a quick recap of what happened yesterday. I did a live stream, completely forgot to upload the fucking podcast. Oh man, uh, uh, I went to go look for the house. Uh, went and saw the house. It's a foreclosed house. I was hoping I was the first one to get it. It's that type of home I was already looking for in that type of neighborhood. Made an offer. I still went and saw another house, but I made an offer. Come to find out, even though the house has only been listed for literally less than 24 hours, someone else already made a cash deposit buy on the house. You made a cash offer and you already made a deposit. What the fuck are the odds of that shit happening to me? Now I manifest this house into existence, and then bam, it wasn't there for me. So you see, you try to shape your reality, but still things are out of your control. So obviously, I talked about before I have depression, so I'm always one little thing away from like really sending me deep down. But I, I just had to wrap my head around it, take time, talk to myself in the mirror over and over, literally talk to myself in the mirror over and over, like, hey, shut the fuck up, man up, get over this, woman up, wherever you want to say. Well, obviously I'm a man, so whatever. Anyway. Get over it, suck it up, press forward, keep moving. You gotta keep yourself together. These kids need you to be responsible and rely on you. So I just kind of looked at it as that, and I was like, well, fuck it. On to the next option. And there's still other options in the neighborhood I want to live in. They're building new homes, so maybe that might be a viable option. There's some homes out there for rent. That's a viable option. It's more in my price range than what I wanted to be, but hey, it'll be on for a year. Uh, there's ways and there's things I can do to manage. Yeah, so there's always options. There's always something available, and everything happens for a reason, whether you can tell it or not. And I know I try to have a lot of foresight to see how it plays out, but hey, it is what it is, man. And to be honest with you, I think building my own home from the bottom up might be my best way to go because I can't believe this shit fucking happened, man. I was speaking to the lender, the person helping out with the home loan, and he was shocked by it. Almost like, damn, it's like, man, and even the real estate agent that was helping me out, he was shocked by it. And it's like, wow, that really happened. It's like cash offer. And so at that point, it's either an investor buying a rental property or it's a retiree or somebody who's liquidated all their assets to buy a home. I don't think it is a townhome. Pretty much a duplex, not 2 stories. I mean, it's beautiful because it's new, built in 2018, and it sits right on a lake, more like a pond. So you get a great view and stuff. And it's in a great neighborhood. It has HOA, but the HOA fees and the CDD thing great amenities and low home insurance because the CDD or whatever they help fix the roof or some stuff. So you get your money's worth, even though you're paying HOA, you get more than your money's worth. Actually, to be honest with you. So I'm like, all right, that's good. Nah, I didn't get it, and I'm cutting it close, man. Cutting it close. I gotta be out of this house by May 15th, so I'm looking at different options and stuff like that. But man, that really took a toll on me. I'm not gonna lie to you. It got to me yesterday. I came home and then I was thinking about different things, and then the kids came home, so I try not to let it affect me around them. I mean, that's easier said than done, especially when they come home and they are arguing and bickering back and forth literally as they walk through the door. It's like, oh my God, I'm not in the mood for this shit. I caught myself slipping, me a little agitated with them. I was like, that's not, yeah, just pick yourself up. I said I take my son to basketball practice and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, you got to pick yourself up, just deal with it. You'll be fine. Go press on and stuff, and you'll figure out something else along the way. And I mean, there's always options, and that's what it comes down to. There's always options. There's always a different way to go. Don't just be set on one thing And yeah, you might have a setback, big, small, whatever. I mean, it's one thing that I was already thinking I was gonna have to pay $10,000 over listing price because other buyers such as myself, other competitors. Yeah, still, I understand the buying process, but some of the stuff just seems so stupid, like closing costs and putting down X amount of money for deposit and stuff to show that you're a real buyer and all this other stupid shit. And it's like, oh, what the fuck ever. Closing fees, cost stuff, paying for really legal paperwork, all that stuff to be signed, even though it's gonna be automated for the most part, and they're just gonna maybe have a physical copy and then put it electronic or whatever, man. How, fuck buying a house, bro. That's why I never wanted to buy a house. That's what I never wanted to buy a house. Like if I could just rent forever, and yeah, I'm sure the price would go up over the time. But fuck it, man. If I could just rent forever, I would have did it. But so buying a house, just the whole process is annoying. Because I feel like it could be way more streamlined. It could be way more logical, way more simplistic. I understand contracts and agreements and all the other stuff and appraisals and all the other shit, but it could be a lot better. And it seems like everybody got their fucking hand in a cookie jar, right? Everybody wants their hand in a cookie jar trying to get some type of profit on this sale of a home. I don't like that because no one's living in the goddamn home, right? One person is moving out, one entity is moving out, another entity is moving in. Yet you got all these other people with their hands in the cookie jar trying to make a profit off of this sale. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I understand it. Doesn't mean I have to agree with this shit. And to me, it's bullshit. And like I said, financial companies, fintechs like Proppy, putting everything on the blockchain. It's going to really streamline a lot of this and make it more efficient. You shouldn't be having to wait 30 days, all the paperwork stuff, man. We can move money and everything else. Yeah, you can move money. You can move everything else around the speed of light because of the internet and stuff. Yeah, I still gotta wait so long for a house and stuff. And then I'm still seeing homes. I already don't miss out on homes, pending sales and all that other stuff, and trying to get my loan amount up and stuff. And so I've been missing out on homes this whole past month or so. And it's like it takes a toll on you because it's like fuck this shit. So maybe there's a bunch of couple of neighborhoods that are brand new, and even the neighborhood I want to move in that's still developing homes where I think I'm just gonna rent and then just have new construction or something. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of options and stuff, but yeah. So that's why I forgot to upload the podcast this day. I came home, or yeah, I came back and stuff. Dealt with my kids for a little bit. I started playing video games. I started watching a movie. I just had to take my mind off everything, and I completely forgot that to upload the podcast. So I fucked up. That's my fault. So expect a double upload today. Crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's go ahead and hop into today's topics. I seen this the other day, and I really wasn't going to talk about this, but it really started kind of got on my nerves, and I was looking for different topics to talk about. I'm looking at my webpage that I have open up on my phone. A lot of it's just housing stuff. So I was thinking about doing a whole episode on housing, as far as like house hunting and things like that. Well, the process is still going, so I want to be able to finish it, and then I'll probably talk about that because that's something that I just got to vent. Really, I just got to vent, and maybe my knowledge will help some of the younger listeners or whoever, or even if you never bought a home before. It's like this is my first time buying a home. I had my mom helping me. She took some real estate classes and stuff, so she has an idea. She always watched homes and knows things about that. So I have someone with experience. Obviously, my parents have a home that they bought and paid for. So I'm not in this by myself, but it's fucking annoying. Anyways, I wasn't gonna talk about this Maxine Ward thing, but it was interesting because of what the judge said. Because of her comments, the judge said that she shouldn't have made those comments. He still thinks this is a fair trial, but this might be something that pop up in appellate court. Which I'm thinking, if it's gonna pop up in an appellate court, and when it goes to say wherever the verdict is, and if Derek Chauvin wants to go to have an appeal, then because they filed for a motion of dismiss, which to me, they filed for a mistrial, which to me, I think they should have got it. To be honest with you, I was kind of thinking about it, but I'm like, you tampering with the jury, right? Because her saying those comments, which I'm gonna show this clip here soon, she's saying certain things like, if you happen to be a juror and you hear any of this, yeah, of course they tell you don't listen to the media and all this stuff, whatever. But that's really hard, man. It's really hard, especially if you're on your phone, all of a sudden, bam, something pops up, a notification that you forgot to turn off or something like that. Or maybe you want to check your social media real quick just for your own family members, and you just happen to scroll and see that. Like, you basically just have to stay off technology. Don't watch no news, don't watch TV, or really anything, because something might pop up. Hey, that is what it is. But when you're dealing with high profile cases, it's one thing. But for a congressman or congresswoman or someone in a political position, obviously the comments that they say is going to be played out through the masses, especially the Maxine Waters and stuff. So she knew what she was doing. She was aware of what she was doing. She shouldn't even talked about it, because obviously it's an ongoing case. You don't talk about that. I mean, it's ongoing case. It's a literal trial. So you shouldn't be talking about that. But yeah, she made these comments and stuff, whatever, talking about it. So as a juror, you don't know if the juror's going to feel some type of way where, like, shit, if we don't convict a certain type of charge or whatever, really, what do we do in order to make sure there's no civil unrest and stuff, or really riots? Is what it's going to do. They call it protests, but it's funny how all these protests end up in riots. I don't know how this happens, but it keeps happening over and over. So it makes you wonder, right? Actually, I do know how it happens. People are invoking these riots and stuff and amongst the protesters. It's not whether it's your left or your right side, doesn't matter, because there's always these third party agents operating, and emotions run wild if all of a sudden you're in that type of environment and everybody's hyped up. Guess what? You'll be hyped up too. You won't even know why, because you're feeling the energy of everyone else around you. But for me, for her to say those comments and things like that, she shouldn't have said it. And well, you're gonna have to. She's not gonna pay no price for it, but the trial is already compromised. It's already compromised. Yeah, I think the judge was like, well, yeah, it doesn't matter. He feels confident that the jurors didn't listen to none of the stuff. He told them to stay away from the media and listen to the news and stuff like that. Yeah, you told them to, but I mean, she shouldn't have said it, man. Let's listen to some of these comments and stuff. This is from Sky News Australia. It says this is from the 19th, yesterday. So it says reckless comments by Maxine Waters are tantamount to incitement. Tantamount to incitement. I haven't heard that word before.
Tensions are high in the US state of Minnesota following the police shooting of Dante Wright. More than 100 protesters.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why I looked at her and I don't know why I didn't expect to hear an Australian accent. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why. Even though I said Sky News Australia, I don't know why I was thinking this is some news station in America. I don't even know why I thought that. It's completely stupid of me.
Journalists say they have been assaulted. It's a volatile situation. Elsewhere in the US,
there's
been violent riots,
all these riots, all these things are set up, man.
Far-left agitators attack businesses and
all these mass shootings, all these gun violence stuff, whatever, all it's just set up, man. Because you gotta be fucking kidding me if you really think all this just happens to be a coincidence. That's all happening around the same time Derek Chauvin trial is going on about a George Floyd murder, manslaughter case, whatever you want to call it. It just happened to be a coincidence. All this happened at the same time. Come on, man. It's all by design.
Enter Democratic Congresswoman Maxine Waters. Here's what she had to say to protesters. She told them to get more confrontational.
Yeah.
What happens if we do not get
now, for the audio version of the podcast listeners, this lady Maxine Waters has on a face mask. It's like purple, I would say like leopard print, something like that, tiger print, cheetah print, I don't know. And then she has on a plastic face shield. Now, I showed you guys the study that masks don't work. And that's, like I said, it's not, once again, YouTube is not my words. I show you the direct CDC not CDC, National Institute of Health.gov website, and it shows you the study that was published there saying masks don't work, and really it causes your health or causes damage to your health. Then again, if you've been doing your own research, you already figured this out last year. So it's it's all for show. Right now, it's all for show. To me, she doesn't look ridiculous. She looks theatrical, and it's annoying. It's one of those, once again, it's one of those disrespectful moments where, like, yeah, look at me, look at how I am, look how protected I am. I'm being really, if you want to be protective, you wouldn't be out there. If you really care about COVID-19 and stuff, you're worried about getting sick, you wouldn't have your ass out at a riot or a protest. You wouldn't be out there. You wouldn't be out there at all. This wouldn't be, you'd be at home. It's funny. Everything else is virtual, Zoom meeting, calls, all the other stupid shit. But if you want to take your ass to protest, and if you're a congresswoman, you want to be seen out in the public and stuff like that, you'll make sure that you put on your layers of so-called PPE and go out there. But I'm pretty sure, but all the other times, congressmen, they want to meet and stuff, they want to do virtual calls or whatever. I don't know. I just think that's funny, man.
What should the people do? What should protesters on the street do?
I didn't hear you.
What happens?
What should protesters do?
Well, we got to stay on the street, and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
More confrontational, more active. They got to know that we mean business. This is a direct quote. This is from her talking. I know it's kind of hard to hear it, but this is exactly this is her words, what she's saying verbatim. Didn't they charge Trump? Didn't they give him impeachment because he said nothing even like this? They edited out some shit to make it sound like this. He literally said nothing even close like this. Right? Not even close. And yet, it's the same shit she did last year. Right? That's the same thing some of these so-called Democratic congressmen, senators, stuff like that. Some of these politicians, probably on the right side as well. It doesn't matter. They're both same thing. How is this not inciting a riot or nothing when they try to literally impeach Trump for saying something way less and completely out of context? Literally out of context. Literally edited out. Check out my podcast episode when I covered an impeachment trial, and they literally sat there and made up fake videos. Fake videos from someone that was also a fake individual too, being planted in there to get this video footage and later be used on it in the impeachment trial. So get to the streets and get more active, more confrontational. What does that mean? They're already get more active. What? They already are active. Now they want more confrontation. Why would you get confrontation? Confrontation with who? The police officers? Because that's the only people that's to be the opposing side against them. As a police officer trying to maintain order, once again, I don't think police officers are meant to protect and serve. No, it's to maintain order. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to have that type of thing, we can have a debate whether or not it's essential in a society, but to be honest with you, I don't even know I don't even know where I even fall in that debate, because part of me is like, fuck it, let's see what happens. We don't have nothing. I just want to see what happens in the so-called anarchist or anarchy rather society. What actually happens? So for her to say this though, more conversations, they got to know we mean business. What the fuck does that mean? Hello, we mean business. How about some of these protesters, rioters, whatever, been destroying businesses? I'm watching people, I show the videos, watching people go and loot a T-Mobile store, Boost Mobile, all those other places, TJ Maxx. Oh yeah, you mean business by destroying businesses, even local businesses. But that's such the wrong thing. All this should be happening in Minneapolis. Nowhere else. Because it's between really the Minneapolis PD and stuff like that. So people that were like, I think there was something going on here in Tampa. Like, oh yeah, I think they were doing something about Dante Rice. So I was like, man, y'all shut the fuck up. Funny too, it was a bunch of white people. I thought it was funny as hell. Like, oh, a bunch of white people. There's no black people out there, huh? That's interesting. Or probably Hispanic, white Hispanic, because we're in Florida, is pretty much what everybody is. Hispanic. Just call themselves white. But I thought it was funny because I'm like, what? Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. If you want to go somewhere, go exactly to the source. That's it. Oh, we show solidarity all around. No. Go to the source. Go to the source. You always go to the source because that is where the problem exists or the perceived problem exists. If I got an issue with somebody or some entity, I'm going to take it directly to them. Right? And I guess there's certain things we were talking about that works. When you're talking about protest, you want to protest police violence or whatever. Well, one, that you can't make that a generalization at all. You need to go directly to that entity that you think is doing some abuses of power or police violence or police brutality. You take it directly to that source. So that'll be the Minneapolis PD or wherever Derek Chauvin's, something like that. Not this, oh yeah, we're here in Portland doing the same shit we've been doing all the past year just because we want to. I mean, we got like Chad, the whole zone Chad or whatever. This means nothing. Like, it's insane that that's going on. And for her to say this is irresponsible. And it's by design. She intentionally did this. Right? She's intentionally doing this. Right? So something can happen. Something like, I don't know, man, maybe we need to check our gun violence. Maybe we should because we don't want it. Something like this could keep happening. Maybe we do need police reform. Maybe we should strip the police of guns. Maybe we should do something because we don't want something like this to keep happening. But you know what? Nothing like this has to happen because everyone out there, all these individuals out there protesting, rioting, whatever, they all make a choice to do that. They all make a choice to do that. And they can make a choice to either just have it be their voices heard or because what's the point of being on it for like 12 hours, bro? Go out there for a few hours over that, make your point, come back the next day. Go out there for a few more hours, make your point, come back the next day. I mean, consistency is the key, not necessarily about the amount of time. Consistency. You want to do it for several weeks in a row. How does it not make more sense to do it for like 2 hours a day for every day for like a whole month straight? Get your point across, right? In that source area of where the problem has arose or the problem or the issue that you have, you take it to the source. This lady's a joke, man.
Unbelievable. This is the same Maxine Waters who savaged Donald Trump, accusing him of inciting the January 6th
Right?
riots.
I just said that.
Waters' reckless comments are tantamount to incitement. She has formed for this type of dangerous rhetoric, and yet the bulk of the US media give her a pass.
Yeah, they give her a pass. Man, I don't want to talk about that shit, man. But let you say some shit like that, right? Let you say some shit like that. They be on your ass, man. So this is from The Guardian. And watch I get a copyright claim for this shit. Even though the shit is only a minute long, right? Watch I get a copyright claim for this. Or a minute 25 seconds. And I'm gonna pause and talk over and all this stuff and watch I get a copyright claim for it. This is insane. But yeah, so this is from The Guardian. It says Maxine Waters expressed support for protesters against police brutality, blah, blah. Let me see some of the comments. Somebody says you didn't even show the right clip. So yeah, this for me to even find that clip, I had to go to Sky News Australia. I can't even find it anywhere else. Right? I can't even find it. And even like with Fox News, something like that, it was just someone else commentating on it. I was like, man, why can't I just hear the clip itself? I'm sure that's not done by design either, huh? And it says, somebody said the funniest thing is she wants Chauvin to be found guilty of something he wasn't even charged with. Yeah. And it says already the National Guard have been shot. Oh yeah. If you check some of these videos on the internet, you probably won't find them on Twitter, maybe. You'll definitely find them on Gab. Yeah, they're gonna attack the National Guard, they're gonna attack police officers. And yeah, you can say what you want about military and police, but at the same time, guess what? Those people, they're just doing their jobs. They ain't there trying to hurt nobody. So if you go off and attack them, you really just go off attacking a person that's just there. That's there because they collect the paycheck. They probably don't want to be there. Hell, they probably really don't want to be there themselves. But you know, life choices. Here they are. So this is what they got to deal with and stuff. And it said 4 hours later, her supporters shot up a National Guard depot. People in the comments, man. I think we are watching in the political class. They are falling over each other in their haste to show their corrupt hearts. That's from Captain Stewart. So Mev the Third, I read somebody's comment. Joe SM. And it says, wow, way to leave out the part where she invited violence. Great reported Bobby Sperling. Guardian completely left out where Waters prompted violence. Media spin yet again. Gogolo 7. Just kill you, man. I'm glad to see people in the comments see this shit. And this so I guess our comments were made April 17th. It's kind of okay. So not my mistake then. This protest. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. This is at the Brooklyn Center in Minnesota, which is not that far from Minneapolis. But I guess you're talking about the Dante Wright thing and not the Derek Chauvin trial, or I don't know. I'm trying to figure out but it all goes together anyways because they're all talking about the same thing. So, but as once again, me being a juror, I would think. I mean, it's the most obvious thing that oh shit, if I vote a certain way, as far as how this trial goes, I basically be one of the causes. Or obviously you're not a direct cause, and you're just kind of a ripple effect, an event caught in it. But you would be essentially one of the causes in a sense for the effects that's gonna happen after that. They're gonna riot anyways, man. Right? Like this is already they're gonna riot. They're gonna riot. And I think it's gonna happen sometime this week. Be honest with you, it gives me content to cover. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's bad. It's bad.
A very difficult time in the history of this country.
Hey, why are all these politicians old as fuck? Right? I seen Trump talking about running for 2024. Well, he need to get his ass in office now and get rid of this fake corporation in the United States government anyways. But two, why we want to have these old ass politicians? I know we always think that it's good to have old people in charge or perceived as to be in charge because, you know, they're wise and stuff like that. That don't mean shit though. Experiences make you wise. And to be honest with you, you can be an old soul. You can be your third, fourth reincarnation as a human being. So it is what it is too in that sense. But sometimes you get a little too old and you're out of touch. She just looked like she out of touch, man. And in fact, actually, you know what? She like she don't give a fuck. Just saying some shit. Collect her paycheck.
Despite the fact that we know that people of color have been killed too often, unarmed young men in particular.
People of color too often, right? People of color. You know, just take black people into context. 20 million something black people in America. 400 something get killed by police officers. And I think like 2008, 2019. I'm trying to remember the stats right top of my head. Do your own research, fact check me, whatever. And then, so even out of that, as far as them being unarmed, it's like less than 100. It probably might be even less than that. Wait a minute. So he wasn't armed at all. There was no gun in the car. But what one of his warrants was for not having having a illegal gun or something like that? Whatever, it doesn't matter anyways. I don't understand how you can have an illegal gun. Second Amendment. I don't understand that at all. It's funny how you can have an illegal gun, but you can have the Second Amendment. Second Amendment means Second Amendment, right? The right to bear arms means the right to bear arms. It doesn't say anything else because it's not supposed to say anything else because that right is not a right put on a sheet of paper. It's your unalienable rights, meaning no being in existence in this reality that walks among the earth the same manner in which we do and tell me whether or not I can have a weapon. The fact that some people are thinking that someone else that is just like them can tell them that they don't need to have a weapon, it's irresponsible to the self. So how can you allow yourself to be told that by someone that you don't know? Oh, this video got ratio. I just realized that 1.4 thousand dislikes, 236 likes. That includes my dumb ass because I just liked it just so I could find the video. That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, I never understood how some people think that someone else can tell you who you can and cannot have a weapon. If I'm walking around the streets, not in prison, something like that, I can have a weapon. Regardless of what I did in the past, I can have a weapon. I don't care, ex-cons, ex-felons, I don't care about none of that shit. Drug dealers, none of that shit. Because how are you going to restrict one part of society from not having a weapon and not restrict another part of society from not having a weapon? How are you going to tell someone what they can and cannot do? Right? If they're so-called free peoples, free citizen people, sovereign people, then they can have a weapon if they want to. Not everybody's going to walk around carrying nuclear weapons, man. People don't understand the amount of maintenance that goes with the nuclear weapons. So, hey, that's not something you can you just have without some safety precaution stuff. Because you fuck around, next thing you know, blew up yourself and half the planet or something like that. Like, that's an exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying. Not everybody's gonna walk around with a rocket launcher either, because you might have it, but how much you think the ammo is gonna cost for that? Right? You're not gonna have an RPG or something like that. And everybody wants to have AR-15 and stuff, because that's not something you're gonna pull out of your waistband, right? The best you might have is a handgun, because guess what? A handgun, shit fits right in your hand. It's easy to put in your purse or wherever the case, have on your waistband, in your car, something like that. Now everybody's riding around with a shotgun. Shotgun is really for home protection anyway, so. Fuck an AR-15, you might as well have a shotgun at home, right? Me, I like a little red dot, so AR-15. I'm so off the topic, man. Player.
Black men have been killed. We know that we're now coming to the end of the George Floyd trial.
See? See? Threw the George Floyd thing in there, right? See how she did it? Knows that she knows that the verdict is going to be sometime this week. I think she goes on to mention that, too.
I suppose the closing arguments are going to be made on that case coming Monday.
Yeah.
And we're really just almost at the beginning of what is happening with our young man, Dante Wright, who was killed, and that we have to persist in calling for justice. We have to let people know that we're not going to be satisfied.
You know what? There's a difference between justice and vengeance. Hell, Batman teach you that shit. There's a difference. Is she calling for justice, or does she want vengeance? Or does she even give a fuck at all? Nah, she just wants some rest. Right? She's just doing whatever she's supposed to do because she's told to do this. Just a talking head, man. It's just an actor. Just an actor.
Unless we get justice in these cases. And so I just could not sleep. I could not rest. I could not be satisfied without coming here to let the family know, and the friends know, and the people of this community know, and all those who have organized for justice know that I stand with you, and I'm going to stand not only with you, but continue to fight in every way that I can for justice.
Fight in every way I can for justice. Well, the justice is being served right now. It's a trial, right? It's a trial. It's a trial going on. That's part of your so-called legal system, so-called your justice stuff, whatever. That's what's going on, right? So what the fuck is she talking about, man? What is she talking about? Just doing the same shit she was doing last year. Because what they're going to do is rile up people, have them have all this chaos and all these things just so they can bring down their hammer and more totalitarian, more authoritarian. Even with DeSantis in Florida, and I like him, but I don't like bringing more legislation to combat something else. I don't like bringing in more laws. You have the anti-riot law or stuff like that. I get it, but why do you need an anti-riot law when destroying property is already a crime anyways? Well, it's like having a hate crime. Like, what's a hate crime? If you're gonna do something because you don't like them and or you hate them and stuff, and you violate their rights, just calling it a hate crime doesn't make it that much more serious. Nothing changes, regardless of the initial reason of the perpetrator. Nothing actually changes the intent of the crime. The intent is to do something to someone else for whatever reason, and a negative impact. I haven't even looked at a riot bill or anything like that. I don't understand how's that a thing when if you destroy someone's property, so that's already a crime. It's probably just a legislation to have more of a harsher sentence. But like, once again, just because it happens in a riot doesn't make it more harsher than if you just go do it all by yourself. But I'm loosely commenting because I haven't really broken down the riot bill. I'm still debating if I don't even want to talk about that, because I'm like, man, it's fucking annoying to me personally. It's like, God damn, every time you turn around, like I said, in America, the land of the free, every time I turn around, it's a new fucking law. Regardless of which side of the aisle you want to fall on, regardless of even my perspective, wherever I want to agree with it or not, it's just every time I turn around, it's another fucking law. And it's like, man, I don't think more laws are gonna work. Even some laws to combat certain things, more laws do not work, man. Like, it's like, I'm not trying to be in a place where every time I turn around, there's a law for something. There's a law for this, a law for that. Like, yeah, destroying property, private property. That's the thing. This, like the severity only lies in the case-by-case scenario, right? I don't like some of these laws that try to have a blanket or generalization of impact and stuff. I don't even want to talk about it. I had to do more research on it before I get more of an opinion on it. So I seen this the other day, and I think I shared it. I think I shared it on Twitter and Gap. Yeah, this shit made me laugh right here. So there's another so-called conspiracy theory, right? Oh, there's no fetal tissue in vaccines. There's no aborted tissues or aborted fetuses in vaccines. It's like, oh, they can't have a microchip in a vaccine. We already did an episode on the podcast about that. Clearly, the technology is there. Sadly, the technology's been there for over a decade, but is there. So the capabilities are there. Now we just got to cross our fingers and hope that nobody has abused this type of technology. So here you have an article from Forbes, which I'm surprised they have this shit behind a paywall now that I think about it. It says, Biden administration overturns Trump era ban on fetal tissue research. Another reason why I vote for Trump, because these little things like this, like these things that the media just doesn't report about. And you say, oh, it's because Christians and stuff, they don't like abortion, blah, blah, stuff. No. This is the real reason why certain parts of the government, government and corporate entities want to have abortion, because they use aborted fetuses, stem cell research, all types of other research stuff. So it says the Biden administration rescinded the Trump administration restrictions on government-funded research involving fetal tissue obtained through abortions Friday, ending a ban designed to appease anti-abortion advocates that the scientific community has strongly opposed. Look how they see that right in the first paragraph, they set up the opposing sides. They're literally using the word oppose. They've set up your universal law of polarity. You have this side, you have this side. So they're saying, oh, you have your anti-abortion, and then you have your abortion people. Oh, no, not even abortion people. You have anti-abortion, and then you have your scientific community. So now they're saying, oh, you got to trust science, even though science is literally it's about not trusting the science. Science is about not trusting the science. Science is about not trusting shit. and just keep asking questions. It's funny how science, the definition of science has just completely just been eradicated from its true meaning, and now it's just something that they throw out their ass whenever they want to say, hey, we need you to do this, trust the science. Yeah, no, you kiss my ass. Anti-abortion. No, it's not anti-abortion. It clearly opens up the path for it gives a benefit to have abortions. There's clearly a benefit for to have a propaganda push of women having abortions around the country, because where are you gonna get your supply of aborted fetuses from? Hey, you go off and have promiscuous sex, you go do whatever and stuff like that at a young age and stuff, and not be able to take care of your kids stuff. Oh, great, here we go. Abortion. Yeah, have an abortion because we need to resupply our aborted fetuses. Our stock is running low. That's a business decision, man. Once again, that's all this is. Resources, economy. They're hiding behind morality and stuff like that, but it's not, man. Resources and economy. Trump administration imposed a ban in 2019 on any new research at the National Institute of Health. The same people that told you that posted a study telling you masks don't work. National Institutes of Health that require fetal tissue obtained through abortions and convene an ethics advisory board to review proposals for government-funded research involving fetal tissue that denied most proposals and largely consisted of members opposed to abortion and the use of fetal tissue. So basically what it's saying is like it's stopping the government was going to fund any scientific research that involved in aborted fetuses. Now, obviously from a private thing, because some states have their own laws for having abortions, and then that company would deal with that state and their abortion laws and stuff like that, and they get their aborted fetuses. But from the so-called United States government standpoint, federal government standpoint, the Trump administration had the ban saying, we're not finna do any scientific research or fund anything that has anything to do with the involvement of aborted fetal tissue. Make sense? That's a morality thing, actually. That's a morality thing. Actually, it's also a business thing, too. Hey, I'm not putting my money in something you got aborted fetus. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, because I don't know how you're attaining those things. See, even from a business perspective, it's more or less like, hey, I don't know how you're getting this supply of aborted fetuses. I don't know if all these aborted fetuses are voluntarily given up, because I don't even know how that works. When a woman goes gets an abortion, do they sign away the fact that, hey, whatever happens to this aborted fetuses is not my own. I'm giving up the rights of this, and you do whatever with it? Is that a thing? I don't even know. I have to look that up. I probably should have looked up before I even talked about this. But to be honest with you, more than likely, it's exactly what you're doing. And it makes you wonder, too, because to have government-funded abortions, then guess what? Now they're supplying their own, well, they're essentially attaining their own supply straight from the source of aborted fetuses for their own research purposes. It's a brilliant plan when you think about it, man. It's business. It said the NIH, so the National Institute of Health, said Friday that it was reversing its 2019 decision and would no longer convene an ethics advisory board to review proposals involving fetal tissue. So the band just had an advisory board, right? So they at least sit down and talk about it or something first on a case-by-case scenario where something like that was to come about. I say, fuck that. It's kind of odd too, but like the whole abortion thing is odd to me because, like I said, we don't push for adoption agency and stuff like that. But why? Clearly, that's a commodity. Let's be honest, man. Aborted fetuses is a commodity in the scientific community for tons of different reasons. Like this. It says the use of fetal tissue has been heavily decried by anti-abortion advocates, and former Trump-era White House spokesperson Judd Dury said Trump restricted Trump restricted the research, quote, to protect the dignity of life, but fetal tissue has provided pivotal Okay, but fetal tissue has provided. Oh, excuse me. Damn. But fetal tissue has proved pivotal to treatments for a number of medical conditions, including HIV, which they haven't cured shit, Parkinson's, which they haven't cured, cancer, which they haven't cured, Down syndrome, which they haven't cured, and autism, which they also have not cured. You see, it's pivotal to provide treatment. That's a business, man. That's a business. I'm not trying to cure anything because there's no profit in a cure. But I need these aborted fetuses to help develop some type of treatment so I can make this into a marketable product so I can sell to people who have HIV, Parkinson's, cancer, Down syndrome, and autism. It's a business, man. That's all it is. It's a business. This fetal tissue research has also been heavily used for the development of COVID-19 treatments and vaccines. But don't worry, there's no aborted fetuses in COVID-19 vaccines or vaccines in general. There's no aborted fetuses in vaccines. But yet this Forbes article is literally telling you there's aborted fetuses in vaccines. Remember that was a conspiracy theory, right? So it's a conspiracy theory. Everybody's crazy. There's microchips and vaccines and stuff. Pentagon develops a microchip. IBM has a 5 nanometer microchip. You can't even comprehend the size of what a nanometer actually is, getting close to atom size. So it's possible to put in a vaccine or anything, really. Put that shit in a syringe, you would never fucking know. Go right into your bloodstream. DOD, the Pentagon, developed a microchip to put into underneath your skin, into your bloodstream to detect COVID-19. Aborted fetuses, oh, those not in vaccines. They will never do that. Yet fetal tissue has also been heavily used for the development of COVID-19 treatments. So the COVID-19 treatments and vaccines that, came out of fucking nowhere last year. The so-called virus came out of fucking nowhere last year. Fetal tissue, aborted fetus, aborted fetal tissue, aborted fetuses, dead babies. Dead babies. He knows that they won't call them babies. Right? This article won't say the word babies. Because it won't put it into that context. Because that's what it is. 4 months aborted. 2 months aborted. 6 months aborted. What happened? They get an abortion because they're not able to sustain the baby itself, and you don't want to kill the mother or something like that. Or you gotta have a premature birth. I guess they wouldn't call it a birth then. It'd just be aborted. That's like, you see where we're going with all this? It's all business, man. It's all business. When I say there's no ethics in business, there's no ethics in business. And all the laws we're trying to create and stuff is trying to figure out whether there's ethics in business, because business is business. Money is money. Some people don't give a shit. That's the reality of the situation. Some people's morality is, non-existent when it comes to money. Their values, non-existent when it comes to money. Their standards, non-existent when it comes to money. What is it? Everyone has a price? Everything has a price? So it's like, hey, what's your price? Oh, I'm not going to do this. Yeah, you say that, but if we're going to do it, what's your price? And then you start thinking, you start questioning yourself. It says, though the ban resulted in the cancellation of at least one government-backed experiment on potential COVID-19 treatments. So I don't know if the government-backed Moderna or Johnson & Johnson. I don't know which one. I thought they did Moderna. Oh no, I think they just gave money to get some of the vaccines. I don't even know. I that's something I had to do extensive research on. But I probably won't. I don't even know if I will. Be honest with you, because it's shady in itself. It's shady in itself. But don't worry, this is a conspiracy theory, right? It's a conspiracy theory because there's supposedly no aborted fetuses in vaccines. The scientific community have been heavily pressuring Biden to reverse the Trump era ban, with nearly 100 organizations saying in a January letter that continued restrictions could delay future advances, vaccines, and antiviral therapies. Your only question should be, where would they get these aborted fetuses from? Now you know why some people advocate for abortions, whether they know it or not. This is why they advocate for abortions. So they can create these so-called vaccines and treatments, not cures. Understand that this is not about saving. None of this shit is about saving people's lives. None of this shit is about providing health and real benefit in the medical industry. It's not about people's life. It's not about people's health. It's not about that. It's about collecting money, or making money rather. It's about dollar signs. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's always about. When you see the world through the perspective of the top down and from the perspective of business, economy, resources, everything starts to make sense. Because it's like, oh, it's conspiracy theory. People ain't controlling the world. People aren't doing this. No. If you put yourself in those positions, that perspective, wait a minute. If I was part of the people and I wanted to control the world, how would I do it? Everything starts to make sense. Because morality does not exist to some of these people. When it comes down to, think about it, they're putting aborted fetuses into medical treatments, knowing damn well that if the shit works, you would need more of that source of more of that supply. I don't want to say source, but you will need more of that supply. You will need more aborted fetuses. Then the next question is, well, how do I get more aborted fetuses? Well, let's see. Usually, abortion comes from unwanted pregnancy, right? Well, I need to find some way to manipulate the population of young women, get them sexualized to the point where they will have abortions. Maybe I should find a way to also keep my supply, keep my supply high, as well as be able to have my supply on demand. Maybe I should figure out how to clone fetal cells, right? Embryonic cells, rather. Maybe I find a way to clone so I can create more aborted fetuses or just fetuses in general, with no intention on ever actually growing to be the birthing age, right? So I could use them for stem cell research or wherever the case may be, vaccines and treatments and stuff. That's what it's about, man. Business with no ethics, clearly. It says the use of fetal tissue is heavily regulated even without the Trump era restrictions. Oh, that's a lie. The fact they put that in here, that's a lie. It's illegal to accept payment for donating fetal tissue, for instance, and it could only be used with the informed consent of the donor. So yeah, when you go get an abortion, you want to have this abortion, you're gonna sign off anything. You're gonna sign off on anything. And it's like, oh, you can't get payment for it. Oh, that don't hurt. That did never hurt the donor, which would be the young teenage girl or whatever, or the family with the young teenage girl. That's it. Yo, they don't get paid, so they just get screwed, right? Because that aborted fetus is gonna go on to help to be involved. I want to say help to be involved in some type of research that might make this medical company millions of dollars. But don't worry, you don't get shit. You paid for that. In fact, that's 322 million. That's the number of illnesses that were prevented by vaccines developed through fetal tissue research between 1994 and 2013. So all the vaccines we had in our lives, aborted fetuses have been in it. Well, I guess it doesn't say directly in it. I think they're trying to be particular about their verbiage. It just says the use of fetal tissue. It doesn't say that it's actually in it. But let's be honest, it's gonna be in there, man. It's like that goes without question. But if you just take a whole bunch of aborted fetuses to study to use these treatments on just for that, you'll find a way to put them in there too, because you'll need some of that stem cell. Well, I said that's why I keep saying stem cell research, because it goes along with that as well. The regenerative properties. When you talk about pregnancy and what goes on inside a woman's womb while a fetus is a baby is going through the development. So the fact that you literally can breathe in the embryonic fluid in a sense and not drown. You understand that? You understand that, man? The development of Mother Nature, the nature and biology itself, that's already technological advancement. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, along with 732,000. Wait a minute, how can they predict the number? How can they estimate the number of illnesses prevented? How do you even say that? Because if you get the vaccine of something, and if you do get sick from it, say you get the flu shot, but then later on you do get the flu, and if you just never report that you got the flu, how do they know that the vaccine worked and it prevented illness? Like, how do they even come up with that number without having actual verification from the recipient of the vaccine? And it says along with 732,000 premature deaths. So there's premature deaths and then there's abortions. Why is an abortion not a premature death? I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Either way, that fetus, that baby inside the mother's womb, they're dying one way or another. Obviously, without their say so, without any of their involvement, without their choice at all. But premature death is one thing, and then abortion is another thing. But yeah, why is it not considered a premature death if you get aborted? So the vaccines also say 1.38 trillion dollars in total societal costs during that time. The fuck? Oh, they're making up shit. Total societal cost. Say that again. Total societal cost. What does that mean? What does that mean, man? I can't, man. These people are fucking insane, man. It's a surprising fact. Despite objecting to fetal tissue research and personally directing that the ban on it be imposed, Trump personally benefited from it last year when he contracted COVID-19. He was treated with monoclonal antibodies developed using fetal tissue obtained through abortion. How do you know that, though? How do you know that? How do you know that exactly his monoclonal antibodies developed using fetal tissue obtained through abortion? How do you know that wasn't attained through a premature death? And then the family members of that, the parents, or rather, of that baby, of the premature death, decided to donate the body to science. How you know he didn't make a clear distinction to make sure that that's what he was getting? I'm just saying that's a possibility. I get what the statement in which they're saying, but you have to say that as a what if scenario, not exactly as that. Huh. Interesting. That's wild. I like how the chief critics are anti-abortion advocates. I'm not even necessarily anti-abortion or for abortion. I think it's a case-by-case scenario. Like, everything is great for me because that's basically what it is. I think it's a case-by-case scenario. But just because you're a critic of it doesn't mean you have to be so concerned about that. Fucking stupid ass people, man. So it's deceptively edited videos that purported blah blah. I almost at a loss for words with this one because it's like fetal tissue is used in research for other stuff, aborted fetuses, and it's in vaccines. Yeah, they said, oh, that's not in vaccines. People really think that's a conspiracy theory that the aborted fetuses are not in vaccines. And that's really why I wanted to point out this article, because this gives the government and corporations all incentives to have abortions laws in the country. Because economical, right, for them. It's good business for them to have aborted fetuses have abortions be legal. And so there's not about morality at all for them. Last topic I wanted to cover today. NASA's a joke, man. I don't care what they say. Man, NASA's a fucking joke. Here's from Fox 13 News. Just a Fox article in general. It says NASA Ingenuity helicopter successfully completes first flight on Mars. It says NASA's the space agency said that the flight occurred at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Data from the 4-pound, 19-inch tall vehicle came into NASA hours later. Data travels that fast? Data from Mars travels that fast? You can't even make a bank transfer without it pending for 1 business day. But data can travel from Mars to NASA in 4 hours. Or hours later. I'm just putting out a number 4. So that's my fault right there. Because hours later, I'm like 4 at the most. I don't know why, I just said 4 at the most. It'd be scary if it really was like minutes later. Meanwhile, you can't send an email and see you still have to wait on confirmation. Hell, a Bitcoin transfer would take an hour. To be completed on the blockchain and confirmed, a Bitcoin transfer can take up to an hour. Anywhere between 10 minutes to an hour or so. I don't even think it's 10 minutes because the times I did it, it's been like 30 minutes. Sometimes it's been like an hour. Yeah. What kills me is it says completes first flight on Mars. A helicopter completes first flight on Mars, but it's like, how's that an accomplishment? You landed a spacecraft on Mars. Something flew in the air in order to land on Mars, right? So anything else about any type of flight on Mars is irrelevant. I guess it's saying it's the first flight of this particular spacecraft, of this particular helicopter, rather. Like, how's this accomplishment, man? That's what I'm talking about with NASA and these space news. They keep trickling out little small stupid shit. Give us some real shit, right? Give us something solid. Give us something. Don't give us this little bullshit right here. Oh yeah, look, we threw our little toy helicopter around and flew on Mars. Well, Mars looks like the fucking Arizona desert, so good for you. Hand clap. God, I gotta get the sound effect thing going. Like, good for you, man. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Right? Whoop-de-fucking-do. That is such a great accomplishment. Am I being too harsh or too critical? Maybe, but when you show me images, look at this. Why does it look like fucking Saharan desert, right? The Sahara Desert, excuse me. Why does it look like they out in Arizona, New Mexico? And oh yeah, we flew a helicopter. Well, shit, I can go fly a helicopter out in my backyard and stuff too if I wanted to. Like how is this an accomplishment, man? You want to get a gold star? What do you want? Pat on the back? A cookie? Like, what do you want from this? Give me something serious, man. Give me something real. Give me fucking infrastructure. Give me a building or a structure. Give me fucking aliens. Give me something, man. I don't care about your little rock samples no more, man. You've been feeding us bullshit little information what, since the 60s? Oh man, give us something serious, man. I don't want your rocks. I'm like, oh, look what we did. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care, man. Give me something solid. Give me something that's like, oh yeah, this is serious. If not, shut the fuck up. I was just so frustrated with NASA, man. Like, why, bro? Why? Give me something solid. Give me something legit. If you ain't got nothing, keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. When the news finally came of the successful flight, the operations center filled with applause, cheers, and laughter. Y'all completed a science project? Right? I just had to point out this article because I just want to know, what exactly does NASA do that is so beneficial to humanity? But we're not talking about society, we're talking about humanity right now. We're talking about space, we're talking about colonizing the galaxy and all this other stuff. Like, oh, maybe I'm just being too much of an asshole, right? Maybe I'm being too much of an asshole, and I'll take that criticism. I'm being too much of an asshole. It's just every time you turn around, they're saying some little shit. It's like, what? Oh yeah, we're here to look for a historic microbial life. Like, oh yeah, because we can find these small microbial life. That means the building blocks or something more. Man, fuck all that. Give me something that really makes you say, oh yeah, now I'm interested. Where's Martian Manhunter, right? Where's the little green men? Is Mars gonna attack? Give me something, man. Give me something. Because at the same time, they're wasting taxpayers' dollars. This is taxpayers' dollars in America. If you're a taxpayer person in America, you listen to this is where your money goes. For them to fly around toy helicopters on Mars. Well, now it's different, huh? Now it's different, right? When you put in that type of perspective, you have that context. Oh, wait, now it's different. Wait a minute, you waste my money on this, and you guys all excited about this? We need to see real return on investments, right? If we look at it from a business perspective, ain't nobody giving out millions of dollars, billions of dollars for you to fly toys around on Mars. I need a return on investments, man. ROI. Give me something. And it says we've been talking so long about our Wright brothers moment, and here it is. No, Wright brothers moment is when human beings got in a fucking plane and flew around. How is this? Wait a minute. How are they flying a helicopter? If it takes hours for data to transmit, how are they flying a helicopter? Is it being flown by the people in the ISS, in the space station? Because it was an unmanned mission, right? Wait a minute, is it an unmanned mission to Mars? Right? Yeah, they're not on the planet Mars. Are they in the atmosphere? Are they floating around the planet? Or are they all back here on Earth and stuff? Oh my God, now I'm gonna fuck my head up. See what happens when you ask questions? And it's most obvious. If data takes so many hours, is that how they're controlling the helicopter? Waiting hours for each little movement? Are the commands? They give the helicopter certain autonomous commands and it does that? And you can do that so-called millions of miles away? And that data takes hours to transfer? I done messed my head up now. Okay, blah, blah. Offering a virtual hug to her, so, okay, blah, blah, nobody cares. Ingenuity hitched a ride to Mars on Perseverance, clinging to the rover's belly when it touched down in an ancient river delta in February. So it's just given now there was water on Mars. I guess it's just given now that's what we're about. Maybe we're really Martians and we're not humans or Earthlings. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're really Martians and we immigrated to Earth, migrated rather. The $85 million helicopter demo was considered high risk with a high reward. What is a high reward of $85 million? How can you quantify $85 million into not quantify, but in a sense, how like what is the I can't even think of the proper words. I think you guys get what I'm saying though, but like $85 million for a helicopter to fly on fucking Mars. What does that do for us? Right? What does that do for us? What does that do for humanity? It says a successful flight opens up a new era of space exploration using drones. So okay. So this article said it, right? Drones. We know what drones are. Fucking toy cars, toy planes. That's what a drone is. A toy plane. They can spin it up how they want to. It's a toy plane, right? It's a remote control plane. An aerial craft. So where are they controlling the drone from? Oh, fuck this. I gotta look this up now. This is killing me. This is killing me. Let's see. How does NASA control? Let's just go with rovers. Let's go with that. It says astronauts remote control rover from space. Once again, from the source is NASA.gov. It says this is from 2013. It says station astronauts remotely control planetary rover from space. Just as remotely operated vehicles help humans explore the depths of the ocean from above, NASA has begun studying how a similar approach may one day help astronauts explore other worlds. So I guess that one day is now because it's from 2013. It says on June 17th and July 26th, NASA tested the surface telerobotics exploration concept in which an astronaut in an orbiting spacecraft remotely operates a robot on a planetary surface. In the future, astronauts orbiting other planetary bodies such as Mars, asteroids, or the moon could use this approach to perform work on the surface using robotic avatars. That's what I said. So they're controlling it from space. So are they orbiting Mars right now to control the little fucking toy drone helicopter on Mars? See what happens when you actually read these articles and you critical think? You end up asking the simple questions that the articles don't answer, because what's the fucking point of an article if it's not going to answer these questions? And let me go back to the article. I think it's damn near done anyways. Yeah, it's pretty much done. Like a couple paragraphs left. So it says on Earth, the technology could enable helicopters to reach new heights, doing things like more easily navigating the Himalayas. Nobody gives a fuck, man. People climb up to the top of Himalaya mountains. Why? Apparently, navigation is difficult, but it's possible. From just a person with a goddamn climbing tools to go up to the Himalaya mountains. Oh my god, maybe I should ask a question. How are they controlling? How is NASA controlling ingenuity? Because I just want to know, man. I spelled that probably all wrong. Huh. I ask simple question. How does NASA control ingenuity? Maybe I say ingenuity drone. Okay. So this is from NASA.gov. Once again, this is mars.nasa.gov. No, I don't want to watch a little fucking toy helicopter fly around, man. Tell me how you doing this shit. Fucking NASA, bro. Okay, there's a picture of the Ingenuity plane, helicopter, drone. Come on, man. This is like a science project, bro. Like a science project. So his name is Ingenuity. His main job of technology demonstration to test the first powered flight on Mars. First powered flight on Mars. Because landing and flying, I get it, two different things in a sense. But yeah, okay, whatever. We'll go with it. The helicopter rode to Mars attached to the belly of Perseverance rover. Cool. Got it. July 3rd, 2020, when it was launched, Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, Florida, of course, and it landed February 18, 2021, Jezero Crater, Mars. A 30-day period with one or more test flights. Taking flight on another world. The Mars helicopter Ingenuity is a technology demonstration to test. Okay, we read that part already. And it says once the rover reached a suitable helipad location, it released Ingenuity to the surface. So it performed a series of test flights over a 30 Martian day experimental window. The test flight was successfully performed on April 19, 2021. How was it done? And why are they showing me these videos with no goddamn color? I don't want no black and white videos. This ain't the 60s. I thought y'all technology was better, and you want to show me a black and white video? What, $83 million means I can't watch shit in color? I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, all technology in the world, all technology in the galaxy, I gotta watch a video of you flying a toy plane on Mars in black and white. Because in one sense, you're supposed to marvel at their technological advancement, but at the same time, you're like, this is the advantage that y'all get. Like, it's criticism, man. It's fair criticism. It's fair criticism. Now you can say, oh, you can't do that. I'm not going to say that. Because if I wanted to, I believe I could. Like, oh, you're not smart enough. There's something, some of my friends be like, oh, you think you do everything. Well, isn't that the whole point? Is for you to believe that you can do something if you want to do it? Because when it comes down to it, the things that you can't do are the things that you don't like. And the things that you like to do, you can do them. And if there's something that you like to do that you can't do, what happens? Well, you practice at it, and then all of a sudden, you can fucking do it. So really, what it comes down to is your own perseverance and your consistency to learn something and apply it and practice in order to get better. So, oh my God, it's a simple logical concept. Let me shut the fuck up. That makes too much sense. Come on, man. How are you controlling it, though? Overview milestone 5 and that. How are they controlling it? That's what I want to know. It's okay. The hell, it's blah blah. Okay, it took off, climbed about 10 feet, 3 meters, a basketball rim. It climbed to the height of a basketball rim. I could jump up that high and touch it. Above the ground, hovered in the air briefly, completed a turn, and then landed. Isn't gravity a little bit less on Mars than it is on Earth because of the density, right? Density. So, man, this Mars shit is really aggravating me, man. Am I the only one? Does this shit not add up? It was a major milestone. The very first power flight in the extremely thin atmosphere of Mars. And in fact, the first such flight in any world beyond Earth. How come you didn't do this shit on the moon? Would you not test it on the moon first? But I guess you can't fly off something into the moon because I guess there's no atmosphere, there's no gravity, so it'll just float away. But then again, astronauts that walked on the moon, they didn't float away. I'm just trying to make this make sense, man. That's it. Make this make sense. based on the things they tell us in school, based on education and stuff like that. Like, make this make sense. This stuff doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand. It says, okay, after that, the team planned additional experimental flights of incrementally farther distance and greater altitude. After the helicopter completes its technology demonstration, Perseverance will continue this. Who's flying the fucking helicopter, man? Control. Is it autonomous? Is that what it is? It's autonomous? But how does that even work? Hell, you can barely get Teslas not to fuck up the cars. So like, how does that actually work, man? I just want to know, like, really, like, how does that actually work? Let me watch this video, man. Oh my God, it's an hour long. Look.
Take a minute and celebrate the first powered controlled flight on another planet. Yay!
I had no intent on doing any of this stuff, man, but I don't know why. Just something about all this just feels off. Right? Something about all this just feels off. I'm just gonna throw it out there, man. Something about all this just feels off. You say what you want to say, but that's just my thoughts, man. It just feels off. They're doing air high fives. People can supposedly fly up shit into the atmosphere. But I guess the atmosphere is extended to the moon, whatever. I guess to the Mars too. Who knows? And they can fly things out of space and so-called outer space or whatever. They can do all this extra stuff, but they're not. They don't understand that they're not gonna get sick if they don't. If they have a mask on, that's not gonna stop anything. Aeronautical engineers, but they don't understand that having a mask on doesn't stop anything. They don't understand that, yeah, just because we touch hands doesn't mean we're going to get sick.
Virtual high fives all around, COVID safe. All right, now I wanted to note that
COVID safe. You guys are doing shit where you're fucking with things outside of Earth, and you're talking about COVID safe.
I'm going to take some questions.
Yeah, I got a question. How the fuck you do this?
Mission Directorate and the Science Mission Directorate. It involved JPL, of course, but also the Ames Research Center and the Langley Research Center.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
It was around 3:30 a.m. this morning, but it sure didn't feel like early in the morning. It just felt like a very normal middle of the day, externally exciting.
We have data products confirming that we unpacked image and 1 hertz data. This is downlink handing off to flight control for.
You know what? How do they know what they're doing is in actuality, other than someone telling them what they're doing is in actuality? I wonder how do they actually verify the fact that their little toy drone plane helicopter, I keep saying plane helicopter, that they're flying around whatever. How do they know that is actually on Mars, other than believing that someone else told them it's actually on Mars? Faith,
Telemetry analysis.
trust.
Swashblade servos appear healthy. Overall actuators appear healthy.
This flight control confirming that we have EVRs from Ingenuity. Ingenuity is reporting having performed spin-up, takeoff, climb, hover, descent.
Okay, so
Well, when things work,
Is it-
it looks easy. I would like to take this opportunity to remind how difficult it is to fly a rotorcraft at Mars. First and foremost, because the atmosphere there is so thin, right? About 1% compared to that at Earth. That's like on Earth being elevation 3 times the height of Himalayas. So the air is very thin.
3 times the height of the Himalayas. So why don't you just try flying a drone up into the ionosphere of Earth? If it's the same as being the 3 times the height of the Himalayas, why don't you just try to fly a drone in the Himalayas first, above the Himalayas? Why do you have to go to Mars to figure out what you can do on Earth when you're already on Earth? Why don't you just try it on Earth? Does that make too much sense? Because why would I go all the way to Mars to try something that might help what I could do on Earth? Why don't I just try to do the shit on Earth? Why spend what 83 million? Right? Is that the number? I think it is. I skipped it somewhere. I know I read it. 85 million. Why spend 85 million on a science project on Mars when you could have did a science project here on Earth, saving you, I don't know, $80 million. Right, these are legit questions, man. I don't care. I don't care if I sound stupid. I don't care if I sound crazy. I don't care. Oh, you don't know aeronautical engineering. You don't know this. You don't know that. No, no, no. I don't know it. But these are fair questions to ask, man.
And ingenuity had to be really light, small, and has to be able to fly in the thin atmosphere and survive on its own. It did all of that under 4 pounds. So Bob Belram will be talking more of that, but I did want to remind that. Well, this morning was an incredible moment. Our team reaction here this morning, this video. It was around 3:30 a.m. this morning, but it sure didn't feel like early in the morning. It just felt like Mars Helicopter Ingenuity Technology Demonstration Project has 3 goals in line with NASA's.
Why can't I figure out if they're flying it from where they're at on here on Earth? Are they controlling it or is it autonomous? Why can't I just have that simply answered for me? Like, am I missing something somewhere? I don't care. I don't care if I sound stupid right now. I don't give a shit. I don't. This doesn't. I just want to have a simple question answered. Who the fuck is controlling the drone? Because if you want me to believe that the drone is being controlled on Earth, and it just said it takes hours for data to transfer, it means it will take hours. And then even the NASA, one of the other NASA's website, .gov website said that it takes that they tested controlling spacecraft from orbit. So are there human beings in orbit around Mars right now? The fuck, god damn, it's all these got. Oh, okay. Let's see. Is Mars Perseverance? I spelled all this wrong. Unmanned. Is it? I definitely typed in the wrong thing. Mars 2020 Perseverance rover. NASA has completed the attachment of the unmanned Mars helicopter. So it's of course they're all unmanned and stuff, but man, why do I have to dig this much to answer a simple question? Who the fuck is controlling the shit? Like, that's all I want. That's all I'm trying to ask. One simple question: who's controlling it? How is it being controlled? That's all I'm trying to. They literally wrote Mars in the sand with the rover. What were we 10 on the beach in Florida? Get the fuck out of here, man. When they say they're gonna draw a dick or something. I just want to know. I just want to know. I just want to know who's controlling it. Who's controlling the rover? Who's controlling the vehicles? Who's controlling it? Is there someone in space orbiting? The Mars Perseverance rover mission is part of NASA's Mars exploration program, long-term effort of robotic exploration of the red planet. So it's robotic. Obviously, there's no humans on the planet. So they're not. So they're telling us there's no humans on the planet. We're going with that. But are there humans in orbit? The Mars Perseverance mission addresses high priority science goals for Mars exploration, blah, blah, including key questions about potential life. Don't give a shit. Mars Perseverance rover introduces a drill that can collect. Don't give a shit. The mission also provides opportunities to gather knowledge and demonstrate technologies that address the challenges of future human expedition to Mars. These include testing a method for producing oxygen, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Maybe I'll just ask, okay, Are there humans orbiting Mars? Maybe I should ask that. Such a program without a budget that grows in inflation. NASA ends its lead role in the International Space Station. Landing humans on... No, I don't want to land humans on Mars. Humans orbiting Mars. A human crew in orbit around Mars controls a suite of robotic surrogates. But I want it from NASA. I want it from NASA's own website. I want it from... Why can I want it from NASA's website to say it. This is from planetary.org. It says humans orbiting Mars. The fuck? The fuck? Just a picture. It's just a image. I guess it's more of a theoretical thing. A human crew in orbit around Mars controls a suite of robotic surrogates. So who's controlling it? Who controls it? Maybe I got access again. I was like, who controls Mars rover? Like, what? Do you understand why is it such a hard thing for me to find this answer to? When it's the most simple and obvious question to ask. This is some shit a child would ask. That's why I say you gotta look at things sometimes from the perspective of a child, because adults have been brainwashed just to accept everything that these people in government and different positions where we think of high society or political significance. I just want to know who's controlling it. That's it. Why? Why do it was a hard time for me to find this answer. Oh, the president Mars. Okay. So this is saying the Perseverance rover touched down on Mars. Blah blah. Koopa told the Daily Mail that the Jezero crater where the rover landed is essentially oh no. Who controls it? Why does NASA not show up though? Right? I'm asking the question, yet NASA.gov is not showing up to answer this question. Why do I have to search the internet and I can't even find an actual website that tells me something? Okay, so this is last year. This is an article from CNBC. It says NASA team is controlling the Mars Curiosity rover from home. Take a look at their work from home setup. Man. I don't even know about this shit no more, man. I'm questioning the validity of NASA and space all in general now. Because I dare myself to ask the most simplest question, and because when you ask these simple questions, you think it's a stupid question. You know, all this would be easily answered, and you just feel stupid. But like, you know what? I don't care. As I say, I don't care if I sound stupid, because why is this question not being answered? Okay. Let's go with this article. It says the coronavirus pandemic has forced millions of Americans to work from home over the past month and likely into the foreseeable future. Understandably, working remotely is easier for some employees, blah blah. That's a challenge facing the team of NASA scientists and engineers who are responsible for the Curiosity rover that's currently exploring the surface of Mars, roughly 140 million miles from Earth. Okay, the Curiosity team. So this is from April 19th, 2020. That's odd that it's almost a year later that I'm reading this article. That's creepy. Okay, the Curiosity team, which typically works from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California, which I think the The video on NASA's website is when the lady was talking, so I think that was from there. Has been working remotely since California officials issued a stay-at-home order for all non-essential workers to help stop the spread of coronavirus in March. It's funny how NASA space exploration is not essential, but movies, actors is. Athletes, entertainment industry is essential, but space exploration is not essential. All right. So that means the Curiosity team has been forced to adapt to an extraordinary situation in which they have to manage the work of hundreds of people who maintain and control the rover from millions of miles away. That includes writing computer code to program the rover's action sequence by sequence while conducting experiments with materials the Curiosity rover collects on its travel across the red planet. So they're writing different computer code to program. So they're writing up different software to program the Mars rover, Curiosity rover, Perseverance, whatever. And they're doing this from Earth. And that data takes hours to get there and hours to come back. So really, the only verification that these people that are supposed to controlling these robotics is a camera feed from the robot itself. And you're hoping that the spacecraft actually went to Mars and landed there. Is it me? Is it me? Because I feel like we take a lot of just faith on everything right now. Like, hey, I hope this is the way it is. Since we're usually in a room sharing screens and images and data, people are talking in small groups and each other from across the room, blah, blah. Man, some of these people home set up, and you got podcasters. Hell, you got people that game that got better selves than these people. You got people that game have better setups than these. Oh, okay. 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 Okay, so they're the ones controlling it? Why can't I find a simple answer, man? Why can't I find a simple answer, man? I'm just trying to figure out who the fuck is controlling this shit, and yet it seems like it's hard to figure out who the fuck is controlling it. Okay, I just want to know who's that. I don't want pictures. They always want to show you pictures or something. Like, oh, look how cool this looks. No, it doesn't look fucking cool. I want to know who's controlling this. Because they're not doing it from orbiting Mars. So there's no humans orbiting Mars sending down the data to control these things. They're doing it from here on Earth. Why spend $85 million to do that? Why spend $85 million to do that? And it's not essential. Because if it was essential, they'll be at work during last year during the so-called pandemic and all the stay-at-home orders, lockdowns, telling your ass you can't go outside. Yeah, I feel like I gotta do some more research on this. This shit is really like messing up my head right now. I can't get a simple fucking answer.
Level objectives. So the first is to show on Earth that it is possible to fly power control flight at Mars. We did that before we were launched. And then
so the first on Earth was to show they could do it on Earth, so they could show they could do it on Mars. Huh?
The second goal was to actually fly at Mars. We have done it. This is the first time I've been able to say we've done it. And the third goal is to get data back that will inform engineers that are going to design, that are designing future generations of Mars helicopters.
NASA all this feels like one big show. Like, these people might believe they're doing something, but I don't think this is why you have those so-called conspiracy theories that there's a secret space program, because something doesn't add up. So all this is missing something. All this is missing something.
And we have done that too.
I feel like they feel like they're doing something for the first time, yet it also feels like precedence has already been set. It's like the word discovery. You're discovering something because it's new to you, but doesn't mean that it's new to everyone in existence or a relative existence of you.
We're going to continue. So beyond this first flight, over the next coming days, we have up to 4 flights planned, and increasingly difficult flights, challenging flights, and we are going to continually push all the way to the limit of this rotorcraft. We really want to push
who's controlling the flights,
man, to the limit and really learn and get information back from that. So with that, I'd like to hand over to Bob Belram, our chief engineer, and really the...
Did I miss something?
Degrees. Hover for another 20 seconds, and then...
So all in all, it's in a perfect state, and I'm just really excited to see what all she can teach us over the next few weeks as we explore aerial mobility on Mars. And with that, Howard, if you can tell us about exactly what happened during this flight.
I assume it's a way for them to cover more ground and have more reconnaissance, I guess, of the planet from an aerial perspective. Yeah?
That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, this flight was all about proving that it is possible to fly on Mars. So to that end,
but they said the atmosphere is thin, same as being 3 miles above the Himalayan mountains. Would that not just prove it there? I know it's a different atmosphere, but I mean, you landed a rover and you drove around on the surface, so can you do this on the moon? You get what I'm saying, man? Like,
instructed Ingenuity to do was to climb.
There's a lot of questions.
Altitude of 3 meters. Hover there for a little bit, about 5 seconds. Then make a turn of about 96 degrees. Hover for another 20 seconds, and then go to land again. We've taken that and happen on
2,600 RPM.
Has been the most
Who's
challenging
controlling the
part
fucking
about
flight,
this
bro?
process? What is the most interesting thing y'all have learned from this flight?
Most challenging? Well, I think Bob can answer.
At NASA JPL. Again, you can use the hashtag Mars Helicopter. Thank you for watching, and go Ingenuity.
So, shit, I didn't mean to do that. So I guess this is a video of it flying. So they do have color of the video. I don't know why it was showing a shot of it black and white. So did a 90-degree turn and came back down. And this is shit they're excited about. Like, I get the excitement, but this is a first step thing. That's a
Media caller.
I'm like, you don't understand how difficult this is. Extremely difficult. We made it look easy, but once again, this goes with government speech. You talk up everything. No matter how simple something is, you make it seem so important, so incredibly difficult, because you talk up your job to make it seem like what you do is so important and so incredible. Even me cooking and stuff, we always say, like, you got to talk it up. You got to, we need the Air Force cooks because, people wouldn't be able to have food and stuff. They wouldn't be able to survive. Yeah, and maybe in a deployment environment. Also, you have MRE and stuff, and there's other options. But hey, you're taught to talk up your job and stuff, man. And that's why I feel like they're talking this up. I don't like. I can't. Okay, so the black and white. So I guess it was the black and white image. Then they had the actual video of it, and I showed the end of the video and stuff. But I don't know why they're showing a black and white image when you not just showed me the a clip of or image of from the video. And it says Ingenuity's first black and white image from the air. NASA's Ingenuity Mars helicopter took this first shot while hovering over the Martian surface during the first instance powered controlled flight on another planet. So if it's a controlled flight, then that control meaning someone's controlling it. So they're controlling it from Earth. So I guess they set the commands, waited for a few hours for the commands to be completed, then wait a few hours for the data to be sent back. Yet you can't get a financial transaction to be completed in one day when it comes with your bank account. Yet it takes months on end to get your stimulus checks, but they can do this. Yeah, man, I'm done. I don't went on. I don't rant enough. I don't even know what to fucking say anymore, man. I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, so, none of this shit adds up. None of this shit makes sense. You tell me some people sitting in their house right now, same as I am doing, with a better setup than me, but not better setup than some other podcasters, YouTubers, and content creators, and people that play PC games. But they're able to do all this coding and stuff and send up programs hundreds of millions of miles away to Mars in a couple hours. Then get the data back in a couple hours to confirm what they know, and you get the video image of it. And I'm just supposed to we're all supposed to just believe that this is possible. Right? We're all supposed to believe this is possible. In the manner in which they say it's possible. Man, I'm done. I'm done, man. Like, fuck it. Maybe I'll do some more on this shit. I don't even know. It's whatever, man. As always, check out the live stream 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. I'll make sure to upload yesterday's podcast that my dumb ass forgot to upload and stuff, and I'll upload this podcast. So yeah, there'll be 2 uploads today, video and audio version of the podcast. If you want to support the content I create in the podcast, buy a shirt, mug, or something. UnderdogProductStore.com. Check out my blog site, whatever. DAMIN, DamianJackson22.com. You find the links to my podcast, social media, and all this other stuff. Man, fuck NASA, man. Somebody give me some real answers, man. Fuck NASA, man. I'm out this bitch. So until next time.